A Jesus commercial followed by a Pfizer commercial was perfect. You watch the shadiness with their CEO buying up that much stock, then you kind of watch the whole cancer drug. That stock's about to go through the roof.
Yeah, let's play a game called if you had to pick anyone in the world who actually enjoyed the Pfizer commercial, it would have to be a thousand billion to one. You'd have to literally put down $1 billion to make $1. I would say Howie Dewey is the only one who enjoyed that commercial. Wow, that was well done. I thought it was very interesting stuff.
Daddies is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
Welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatties. Big week for everyone. We'll get into it. Join me as always, J-Dog. That's his new name. The J-Dog, Johnny Woodard, and Howie Dewey. Bum, 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 bum. Howie Dewey. Howie, did you win or lose money yesterday?
Dude, last year I predicted the score, 38-35.
I know, and you thought you had magic, and you tried to do it
Yesterday, I predicted 27-22. It was 25-22.
Crazy. That's
pretty close.
That was pretty close. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was very close.
And I had a chance. I had a shot, man. If that thing kept going, I had a shot.
I mean, so the whole conspiracies, everything's rigged, whatever. I mean, there was moments where you're like, okay, if they're rigging it, why did they just call that fall on Kansas City to give them a fresh new downs?
Yeah.
But there were some questionable calls early, of course. But I thought it was a very interesting Super Bowl. There's a lot of occult symbolism there, but that's okay. Right? It's just some weird shit. But it was fun.
It started with the deaf guy who was doing the signing before. He was like doing hand signals. It was all very curious to me. I don't know if the Satan horns is like also a deaf signal. I think it might be the signal for love or something, but he was doing that before, and I was like, oh, here we go. Let's get satanic, baby. It's happening.
Let's get satanic.
Thought it was good, man. I thought a Jesus commercial followed by a Pfizer commercial was perfect. Pfizer had the longest commercial. Yeah. And like we've been saying on here, you watch the shadiness with their CEO buying up that much stock, then you kind of watch the whole cancer drug. That stock's about to go through the roof.
Yeah, let's play a game called if you had to pick anyone in the world who actually enjoyed the Pfizer commercial, who would it be? Even money would be it would have to be a 1,000 billion to one. You'd have to literally put down $1 billion to make $1. I would say Howie Dewey is the only one who enjoyed that commercial. Wow, that was well done. I thought it was very interesting stuff.
It was a great commercial on all the cancer research that they're doing. And hey, if you look and see the stock in the past week, it's gone from 26.50 up to 27.66. This clown is going to buy more. I'm telling you, this is the stock that over the next year, and not only that, all these big firms, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, I think Jeffries today, they're all upgrading it. They're putting higher targets. It's paying a 6% yield.
This makes me nervous. Something's coming.
Yeah, this is a dog in the Dow. And, you know, it'll be something simple. It'll be like they just found a cure for type 3 skin cancer. And that'll get them here. That'll get them to 36 in the stock market. And then they'll come out and say, we think we may have a drug for ass cancer. And that'll get them to 43.
Do you think the hardest part of getting ass cancer besides getting it is being honest with everybody that you have ass cancer? Like going, hey, I need to let you know.
I don't even want. I hate even talking about disease and stuff. I'm superstitious, so I don't.
Okay, all right. That's why I knocked, Johnny. Did you see I knocked?
Yeah.
That's.
You don't have any of that in you. You don't have any of that. Like I talk about it. Like
oh yeah, all the time. But if I do the knock on real wood, I'm good. That's what I've learned.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I see.
Face it. You look at your family. If you got grandparents and uncles and they've gotten it, there's a what, 50, 60% chance you're going to get it.
Yeah,
Get
especially
it.
with all the chemicals we eat.
Yeah,
now
the
put in our
chemicals.
bodies.
That's right.
You
We're
know,
all going to get some kind of cancer.
Yeah, my family smoked tons of cigarettes on both sides, right? But it would be hilarious if you compared those cigarettes that they smoked versus like all the chemicals in our food, and you'd see like what was worse for you, right? It's got to be crazy. It's got to be nuts.
All those cheese sandwiches you had with the cheese that comes out of the plastic.
Yeah.
What do you even think that is? You ever eat one of those pieces? It doesn't even taste like cheese.
Yeah,
I don't even know what it tastes like.
I respect, dude. I mean, I don't even know what the real taste of cheese is anymore, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing with all these problems going on. If this thing goes long enough, and it will, if it goes long enough, okay, we'll forget what it's like to be normal, and we're just gonna all enjoy this kind of authoritarian state forever.
Well, I mean, it started back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It started with places like DuPont, Dow Chemical. I mean, these were the big daddies that came in and first put liquid into rivers that made them glow. I mean, those were the first guys. DuPont and Dow, shit. And then the companies that sold all the farms, beautiful chemicals to make their crops grow faster and quicker, hormones to put in your animals. Johnny, you're in the farming business.
Johnny, you know that you're a farmer. You've kissed your cousin.
I mean, they do. They use some, but the restrictions have gotten so hard now that what they can use is so much more limited. Like when my grandpa was running the farm that I won't go into details about, in the 90s they would put all, antibiotics, all this stuff, and now they're very limited in what they can do. They lose a lot of animals because of the limitations on what they can use to get to be able to in good faith put labels on it saying no antibiotics, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it's changed. It's different. I saw now they have chicken houses that are on wheels. So these massive chicken barns, basically, if you don't know what a chicken house is, that roll like this across fields now, so they can just move the chickens very slowly. They move inch by inch throughout the day, and the chickens just keep grazing on the worms.
Why
and stuff.
do they do that?
So that the chickens can kind of get in the earth and graze on worms and get natural,
okay. All right.
bacteria on them, that kind of thing.
I mean, those chickens that they show on TV, you got chickens, Sam, that are 75 pounds with 3-inch legs. They can't even walk.
That's a breed, though. That's the breed, yeah.
Yeah, that's called the Samoan chicken.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny, your grandfather, I'm sure back in the day, he just would drink glasses of Monsanto like it was going out of business.
Dude, my dad still sprays that shit everywhere. Glyphosate everywhere.
Yep. He's like, fuck it.
And I tell him I talk to him about it all the time, but I mean, they have convincing studies, and he didn't give a shit. He didn't. I mean, he sprays it everywhere.
He's like, look, I got a third nut. Your mom loves it. It's all good. That's what it does.
I mean, it really, I have a lot of concerns about that, and I've talked to him many times, but those farmers, they spray that shit everywhere, dude, because it just fucking works. It just works.
Yeah.
Get rid of those bugs.
It's cheap, and it works better than anything else.
I mean, Monsanto's a company that back in the 70s, 80s was just a monster. And then they got the huge lawsuit. And it crushed them. And I think they got bought out. I don't know what the symbol is anymore. I don't know if Cargill bought them. Somebody bought them out.
Let me see here. They're owned by Bayer.
Is that who it is now?
Yeah, Bayer.
Oh yeah. So yeah, evil eats evil. It's like those. Oh man, what is going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. You just kind of doubled there for a second, but you're there.
Okay. What is going on here? I don't understand what is going on.
You can hear
me now.
Yeah, we can hear you. We heard you the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on there, but it's all like that stuff they do in sci-fi where the big animal's coming to eat you, and then out of nowhere a bigger animal eats that animal.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Sam? That's really good analogy of
Thank you, dude. That's the
how
only reason I'm here for my
No.
quality analogy.
That's a good analogy for basically how all companies work. Because, you start a company and the company grows and does really well. That company eventually gets bought out, and that company grows and that company gets bought out. That's the way the market works. It happened today. Happened with Diamondback Energy. Diamondback Energy, huge oil, natural gas company. They bought out a smaller company, Endeavor, and it's one of the first times I've ever seen a company that actually buys out another company. The stock price went up, actually went up, which is wild. So
why was that, Howie? Was it unexpected, you think, or was there another reason?
I think basically the symbol FANG, which is a huge Diamondback Energy's big company. But I think the deal, if you look into the deal as far as them getting stock and the price they bought this Endeavor for, I think it was like 23 billion. They got a hell of a deal. And I think it's just going to make them the monster in the energy sector.
What a great word. Perfect description.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, but that happened today. Diamondback bought out Endeavor. And now that stock is positioned just to
hold on. Endeavor
no, different one. Not the one you're talking about.
Okay.
Not and by the way, this morning woke up. We had to go to Stamford, Connecticut, where we got to go back tomorrow morning to do a shoot at CBS. We were 10 feet from the Endeavor World Headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, with the big WWE on the top of it. Vince's home stomping grounds. We're right
Empire of shit.
I didn't see any shit. I saw a couple girls that were trying to get some brown out of their head.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Here's a guy that had the world by the balls. And I'm going to tell you,
I heard he's into that.
He's in trouble. But he's in trouble. If this he's got a lot of charges against him. But if the trafficking charges hold, he's going to do some time. What
exactly is the definition of trafficking?
In that situation, I believe, bless you, I believe it was he was grabbing girls and basically saying, I'll give you a year-long contract or I'll do this, but you have to do these things with my 4 friends. One of them being one of the animals. I don't know if it was Hawk or the other guy.
Oh, snaps, dude. I love the Legion of Doom, bro.
Yeah, one of the Legion of Doom guys was one of the guys that I don't know if he pissed, he shat, but he did something bad. Because he's listed in the suit.
Listen,
I can't wait for this book.
I can't wait to hear this story. I want to find out what weird shit the Legion of Doom.
Vince is gone. Vince resigned versus getting fired.
It's unreal.
I think Triple H is now running the crew. He and Vince's daughter. But the stock took a beating over the past couple of weeks on this news. And you got a lot of people right now coming out, a lot of analysts, and the symbol's EDR. They like it. They like it at this price, $24.39, because of all the other shady shit that's happened. Look, you got the head of MMA,
UFC,
Dana White, now pushing these shit out of Anheuser-Busch, BUD. He's a Bud Light lover. You got Donnie Trump coming out pushing Bud Light, greatest beer in the world, even though he's never drank. What's his name? The comedian Shane Gillis. He's on the Bud Light train.
The Bud Light thing isn't the problem, buddy. The real problem is that they are facing a giant class action lawsuit because it's come out that they basically rigged the whole competitive balance of MMA and lowballed everybody and not allowed them to have any money, pay them way under. You see them, I've met Dana White and by all counts, the nicest guy, but obviously when someone does business, it's a whole different world.
I've heard
their attacks are going to, unfortunately, he's in trouble. like the way they bragged about lowballing certain fighters. And my theory is, because I come from the conspiracy world, is that certain fighters from the UFC and even Goldie, their announcer, were let go for a reason to allow them to go to these other organizations to give the appearance of a wide open market. They're like, look, they go over there, they make even more money than we give them. It's crazy. And it's like, I think they're in deep shit. I think if the UFC is trying to be a sports league, you always hear, I'm trying to compete with the NFL, I'm trying to compete with FIFA soccer. If you're trying to do that, you're going to have to pay these fighters. And I think the number is, and I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'm sorry, the amount of money that the fighters make from every pay-per-view is like 15%. Whereas, NBA players, NFL players, they split after costs, they split.
Boxing, they split it. Well,
well, maybe, but
a contract.
But the NFL and the NBA have collective bargaining agreements, and the UFC has been arguing that they're independent contractors, yet they're not allowed to wear they have to wear company clothes.
Well,
so
let me ask you this: what percentage? Because this is huge. Endeavor's a big company. That's the umbrella. I'm going to go out and say WWE. I don't know. It's probably 70% of the company versus MMA or whatever. I don't think that's a big part of Endeavor. I mean, Dana White doesn't run Endeavor. He's in charge of that branch. But I think that the actual Endeavor, which is the WWE, that's the real moneymaker. I mean, they were a publicly traded company years ago, doing fairly well. I mean, Morgan Stanley brought them public.
It's going to be interesting. This is a great time to buy in because both of their companies are facing problems right now.
I can give you UFC. This will just give you a perspective on the relative values of the two. UFC pulls in about 390 million. It looks like in 2022 they did. Those are the most recent numbers I have here. WWE for that same year was 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
So it's a multiple of UFC.
But Sam just made up a really good point. And, I'll bring this back to Pfizer, whether you like it or not. Pfizer's been shit on, dumped. The vaccine, that, they've gotten crushed over the past year. The stock is down. You buy a stock on bad news. Endeavor has been shit on over the past 3 weeks because of Vince McMahon and all the dumb shit he's done. And that stock has dropped 28, 29 down to 24. And Sam's right. Now's where you buy it. You buy it on bad news because that's not going out of business. You think Vince McMahon made that thing run? He's got 100 guys under him that made it run.
No, that whole family's smart. You know, I know that because his grandson, Shane McMahon's son, just committed to UNC to play football. Kenyon McMahon. Welcome to the Tar Heel family.
Oh, did he really?
McMahon. Yeah, he did.
Nice. Lot of pooping going on the Tar Heel campus coming up.
Mac Brown invented that game, my friend. Oh,
freshman girls,
the poop game?
Oh, yeah. He's a big into this shit game, bro. Big time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got Endeavor at 24.39. I would probably pick up a couple shares. I mean, it looks like this thing can get back to 31 because they're going to get their shit together. They'll pay off whoever they need to pay off, brush whatever under the carpet. I mean, and let me tell you something, that they could get rid of Dana White tomorrow if the board.
I think that will eventually become something.
It's crazy, right? Imagine building something up like that. It happens all the time. It happens to all these founders and all these guys that start, it's.
And then the company's never the same and it's ran into the ground. Yeah. You got people that don't know what the hell they're doing trying to make these things happen.
Well, it's some exceptions, yeah. But like Apple, is still kicking ass. But yeah, the most, they did fail the first time after they kicked Steve Jobs out. But after he died, he kind of set them on firm ground. And
but like Sam had a good point, man. It's like, look, if they ever, and I believe Sam's right on this. I think a lot of these matches are fixed. I'm sorry. You see weird shit, You see guys, oh, I twisted my ankle. Oh, there's a bit slap. I'm tapping out. I mean, boxing is much harder, I think, to fix.
Okay.
Oh no!
Okay.
What are you,
I was gonna jump in there
What?
and go, please don't say what you're about to say. And
You
then
don't think it
went
is?
there.
The judges in boxing are the most corruptible people on the
Tyson
planet.
Fury Ngannou fight. I mean, Ngannou so obviously won that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even.
All right, you know
close.
what? I take that back. I was asked wrong on that. You
Yeah.
The
are
boxing judges are just so bad, man.
It's
They're
so
you
just
are
so
right.
bad.
You're correct.
That was the whole thing with I mean, even if they're not rigging it, like who they fight is like, you know, it's like Mayweather.
It has been fixed for 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
UFC
okay.
scorecards are so
That was
much better
so
for
funny.
getting
That was
like good
that was one
results.
of the top 5 dumbest things I think I've ever said. Just now, with like boxing's more honest.
Yeah, with those, and they have all those corrupt. I mean, all the alphabet organizations are all corrupt. You know,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
few
You're
exceptions.
right. You're right. You're
And they
right.
have the fucking local. You know, what do they call them? The local sanctioning bodies. They're all corrupt.
Well, what I was trying to say was, out of all those things, boxing, MMA, probably the most honest is straight up WWE wrestling.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably the most honest.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, yeah.
Guys, you guys know that the crypto market is in fuego. So listen, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money from crypto. But did you know it's easy for you to do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You simply do what he does. Here, let me tell you more about James. He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship, has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each one, it would be well worth over $123,000.
Wow.
Come on, okay? Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's SAM. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners get full access for just $1, okay? Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. The recession is here, guys. You could suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit his site now.
Well, you mentioned Bud Light, and you have a former executive there going on Cavuto. I saw some quotes from him. This guy Anson Freericks. He says that they still have sales that are down 30% week over week. Can that be true? He says, and that's despite their summer spending 3 times their planned marketing budget on Bud Light. He says the biggest problem is that they've lost the trust with customers, and they still haven't gone out and personally asked for their customers to come back to them. And until then, that trust, until they regain that trust, I don't think this brand is going to turn around and get back to growth anytime soon, is what he says. Talking specifically about Bud Light. What do you think about that?
I mean, look, you could have bought when everybody was saying, on every podcast, they're going to go bankrupt. And we said, I said, no, they're not going bankrupt. Bud Light was still a small part of the overall beer sales of Anheuser-Busch, of BUD, which is owned by.
It's the one they pump more than any other, though. They look at where they put the money on the Super Bowl ads.
Well, now they're trying to get it. I mean, you saw that commercial last night. Fucking Dana White was in the Bud Light commercial.
Everybody was in that commercial. Yeah.
I mean, that was the most hardest core right wing commercial you've ever seen.
I'm gonna also say something. That was a pretty badass commercial. That was
the Genie commercial.
Yeah, that was a badass. That was an old school Bud Light commercial.
Yeah,
and it's just that's what I mean. What you had was some woke idiot chick who worked at Bud Light said, you know what, our demographic is this.
Yes.
We're gonna do a Hail Mary pass and try to get about 4 more trans to buy our Bud Light. Let's see how it goes. And it annihilated things. At some point, I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, now that Trump said it's okay." No, it's just at some point we gotta move on. They effed up.
Yes.
All they're doing is like, "Who do you guys like? We'll give them money. Who do you like? You
Well,
like Shane Gillis? He makes fun of chinks. Let's go."
wait, this whole shit happened in early September, right? Is when and I mean the stock was at 56. It dropped down to 53. It's at $65 a share right now. I wouldn't buy it here. And I don't like it right now. I don't like it because of anything that's going on with the wokeness. I don't like it just because I don't think any beer company is good now. There's just too many micros. Kids are drinking that seltzer spike shit. So I think it puts a dent in old school, even like Molson Coors. I don't necessarily like that now.
Well, and they're going on strike. That's the big news out of Molson Coors. Their big Texas brewery is preparing to strike. They're saying that this could seriously threaten a number of their brands. I'm just going to read the headline here from.
And by the
Fox
way,
Business.
that symbol's TAP.
Okay, nice symbol. Unionized Fort Worth Molson Coors brewery workers authorized a strike on Saturday. If approved by the Teamsters Local 997, 420 workers will walk off the job, and they're talking about like it's seriously affecting the brand, like possibly even
Coors Light.
Costing them. I don't know the number they were talking about. It costing them, it was some kind of insane number.
That's Coors Light. Molson owns Coors Light.
A fact sheet says 520 employees work there for an average wage of $36 an hour, and 8.2 million barrels of beverages come out of the facility annually. There's also about to be and this one worries the shit out of me, Sam. Have you heard about this? There's about to be a flight attendant strike. They're going to picket.
Good.
Is that with all airlines?
It says tens of thousands of flight attendants are expected to hold pickets at major airports Tuesday in an effort to pressure carriers. Oh, they're just picketing, but they're threatening to walk off the job. Dubbed the Worldwide Flight Attendant Day of Action.
And please, what are they asking for?
It marks the largest collective action in the history of the profession, according to the Association of Professional Flight Attendants. The pickets will be held in the UK, the US. Hold on, ads just popped in over this. Including Guam. Okay. In the U.S., there will be pickets at airports in 30 major cities where I said that. The flight attendants who are slated to participate in it are part of unions representing more than 100,000 workers. So it's about a third of those workers. They're in the midst of contract negotiations with employers like American, Alaska, United, Southwest, and Frontier. I think it sounds like they just want more money is what it sounds like. Here's a quote. Here's a great quote. Legacy sexism that traditionally devalued our jobs must be stamped out and replaced with the true value of our work, according to the Association of Professional Flight Attendants.
Who's going to tell me how to put on a seatbelt?
Yeah, really. Dude, your job could be replaced by a recording, and has been in some cases. It's just a video that plays.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to get, I don't get a meal anymore. All right. Those days are done. I don't get a meal. So we're down to I don't get orange juice. That's about it.
You got to fly with one carrier, dude. You'd be getting upgraded and getting meals and stuff.
I try to tell Dana, buy the same airline. Nah, it's too expensive. Buy the same airline.
I got like 3 different.
I just do American, dude. I'm Platinum Pro. I get upgraded all the time. Just cruising.
Well, here's my
First
question.
class,
Johnny's giving us this information. Delta's at $40.58. It looks to me if it hits 42, you might want to buy puts on that thing. If you think this is going to happen, I mean, this could tank the airlines short term. I mean, it could really put a dent in some of these things. And if you're on the right side of the trade, if these guys go on strike, you might see Delta go from 40 down to 33, 34 in a day or two. You could crush it on puts. So, yeah, let's go for a strike. Let's make some money.
It says 3 weeks ago, the Southwest Airlines flight attendants okay to strike. So that it seems like they're lining up to, do it if they need to. So could happen.
Southwest Airlines symbol LUV. Stock has actually jumped from 24.70 in October up to 32.79. It may be time to buy puts on that baby if we get a nice strike. That's what we want. Let's see these things tank. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Just rude, bro.
It's all about, hey, you want to be on the
Just
right.
fucking rude.
Hey, they go on strike. We buy puts on it. You know what? We make money. They go back to work. We buy calls on it. You
What do you
got
think
it.
about Cisco, Howie? They're planning to cut, or they planned 80,000 job cuts in January, and they're planning apparently thousands more as they restructure their business, according to a report.
You're talking about
Cisco's
the
a
router,
huge company.
not the food, the router.
Cisco, yeah, Cisco like systems, yeah, that brand, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had a hard month. The stock was at 52. Now it's down to 49.99.
49.99, yeah. Boy, they've been laying off people. They laid off about 5% of their global workforce in 22.
You know what though? I think their earnings are this week. And this used to be back in the day, you had four big tech companies. It's changed. You had Microsoft, Cisco Systems. You had, Cisco Systems was the router, Microsoft was the software, Intel was the chips, and Dell was the computer. Those were the four big ones back in the day. Not anymore, man. It's
Yeah.
changed. But if you look at this thing, their earnings come out.
Can I just correct something, Howie? Sorry, that subheadline is wrong. It's actually, if you read in the story, it says it's multiple companies that are planning almost, because that would be in Cisco's entire workforce, 80,000. So that somebody screwed up there. But yeah, they're still planning a ton of cuts.
If it's factored in, you see the stock inch up. The earnings come out the 14th. Was that Wednesday?
The 14th. Yeah.
Earnings are out the 14th. So, if this thing inches up, that may tell us that the layoffs and other moves that they're making, because I'm looking and like there's definitely conflicting views on Cisco. Some companies like it, some don't. I've stayed away from it. It just hasn't done shit in a long, long time. It's where it was 5 years ago. So
it must be that they work like doing mostly business sales and stuff, Howie. Doesn't it sound like
business to business? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that seems to be where a lot of the money is, though, right? These days with that kind of thing, especially just regular computers and
well, what's
networking
interesting?
systems and stuff.
You take a look at those big four, and those were four that in the 90s and early 2000s, they did what NVIDIA is doing today. But if you
what were the four again, Howie? Repeat those.
Four where you had, and Intel's the same one. Intel is trading below where it was 5 years ago, but you had Intel for the chips, and that was a beast. That thing went up like NVIDIA today. But they weren't huge companies like they are now. You had Intel with the chips, you had Dell with the computer, Microsoft was the software, and what the hell was the other one? Microsoft and Cisco was the routers. So those four back in the day were kind of like NVIDIA, Amazon. They were like those companies today. So at some point, what I'm telling you is that these companies like NVIDIA, like Amazon, like Apple, at some point in our lifetime, they'll peak out and do the same thing that those are. I mean, there's a point where you just grow too big. You can't grow anymore, and there's other companies doing better things. It's always the case.
What do you guys think of the Hobby Lobby backed Super Bowl commercial with people washing feet on behalf of Jesus? What do you think about that?
I didn't even know what it was. I was waiting for like a Buddha commercial to come on next. That went right over my head.
Buddha commercial. So wait, you don't know the story of the Jesus washing feet?
Yeah, I know that story. I found it. I mean, like, I have to know what is the significance of the washing of the feet. That's what I need to know.
Well, it's meant to say if the Son of God can humble himself before anybody, just a random person, and wash their feet, then we all should have the humility to humble ourselves.
Johnny, you're a Christian. What were your thoughts on it?
I think the sect of Christianity I come from wouldn't allow my church to even advertise or promote the church in any way. We wouldn't even put out couldn't do fundraisers, anything like that. So I find the Hobby Lobby gang, the family that owns Hobby Lobby
did it.
I don't even know, like a Southern group, like a Southern sect.
Well, no, I got it right here. Hold on. Let's see. Just a second. Again, it's the family. There's this guy, Greg Miller. He's a spokesman for the campaign. He told Rolling Stone that they are going to emphasize loving our neighbors like Jesus did, encouraging people to respect and serve each other. Hobby Lobby co-founder David Green has told conservative talk radio host Glenn Beck that his family and other Christian donors were financially supporting the He Gets Us campaign, devoted to reintroduce Jesus's brand as Christianity's savior. Jesus is undergoing a brand refresh, Howie.
No, well, I'm not against it. It's just like the problem with putting it out during the Super Bowl like that is that most Christians are already in Krav Maga stance because they know how demonic and occultish.
Yeah.
So when you have him, like when you have somebody washing the feet of somebody at an abortion clinic, which to that demographic's a big deal. You have somebody washing, you have Machine Gun Kelly washing somebody's feet in the living room, and then you have a white man washing a gay guy's feet. That could be seen as some weird foot fetish shit, and that's how it was interpreted by a lot of people. And maybe we've gotten so far away from the actual teachings of Jesus that we don't actually see the good in what was done, but it was done to provoke thoughts, and it did. But the question is did it provoke the right thoughts to the right demographic? Because that demographic is already constantly under attack from the left, again, which tends to completely dominate the entertainment of the Super Bowl.
I watched it twice, and the only thing it provoked in me was, why the fuck are they showing nasty feet?
Yeah.
That's what I got.
And you know that people felt that because the biggest meme was about Rex Ryan getting off on this commercial.
I got to be honest, dude. When I was in
that's funny,
church,
man.
we would do that, dude. Like I think it was my youth group or something had like a foot washing thing.
No.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I didn't do it, but I watched.
Know that your youth leader was in the back behind a tree.
No. It's a woman, dude. It's an old one. It's an old lady. Like,
listen again, Johnny. I'm not against it. It's just.
I found it weird too. No, I found it weird too. It was the vibe was just strange. Yeah, it was
like at that moment on that show where already Christians are all talking about how dark, how satanic. You got Down syndrome, Ice Spice throwing out, having like an upside down cross.
Dude,
I mean,
did you see that thing I sent you that Isaac pulled out?
Yeah,
Isaac Weissett, where she's like kind of almost like waving, like, no, this is not for me, and like this with the cross around it.
I agree with that. We watched it a bunch of times. She did the weird horns thing.
Yeah.
Then she pointed this up, and the guy next to her was like pointing to it. We watched it on.
Did you see her though? She's like this. She's shaking her head.
I felt she was trying to brag about it's a Balenciaga. That's a Balenciaga upside down cross.
A Balenciaga cross. Oh, is it upside down? I didn't notice that part.
What does upside down cross mean? Like you're a vampire?
No, it's just an anti-Christian image, like sort of the opposite of, to invert. Although in history, actually, I think it wasn't that. I think it was. Let me see. It represented what the cross of St. Peter is what it was called. Yeah. But
I'm at the
become
point,
something else.
I wake up in the morning, I rub Buddha's belly, I put the mat down, I got a cross. I got like 4 or 5 of them. I'm hitting them all right now, man. I think I skipped one yesterday, or else I could have nailed that score correctly because I came close. I just need a little divine intervention.
You're still talking about the score, Howie? Come on.
27-22, man. It was 25-22. It could have been 2 years in a row, Johnny.
He's still hurting on that.
Nobody's ever.
If you would have hit that, we would never hear the end of it ever.
If I had hit that,
walking around like the fucking Oracle.
I know. I would have tricked myself into a fucking psychiatric.
All right. We don't have much more time. Daddy's sick because I know we gotta do our Patreon.
What do you got?
Let's talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, 50,000.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, we got to talk about crypto for sure.
Yeah, okay. Bitcoin hit 50,000.
Yeah, Daddy's been sick for about a week and a half, and every time I keep getting better, something crazy happens, and I get my immune system knocked back down. Like traveling, have to get up, like because it was so. I had to get back for the Super Bowl because I want my kids to come over to my house and hang out with them. They could care less about the Super Bowl. It was unbelievable. Yeah. I'm like, I gotta get back. got experienced Super Bowl with my kids. My daughter was in the other room watching people play video games. We've lost her, and then the other one is just running
nephew
around
loves
wrecking.
that.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, Howie, but Johnny, what was your new nickname?
I don't remember. J-Dog?
J-Dog, Jake Dog, and myself.
So stupid.
Got,
Did you just make that up? Is that, or did
yeah.
somebody say that? Okay.
No, I just made it up.
Okay.
J-Dog and I got some of our Celsius money back.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Finally.
you did too, Sam. I know Johnny got 55.
Yeah, I got it. Mine was after.
He got a couple days later.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was like a day or two later. Yeah, I got it.
Is it the same percentage?
Well, we're gonna get a lot of stock. That's it. So without getting too,
I think we all got paid. Everybody would have gotten paid a little over 50% based on the value of their crypto when the company froze withdrawals. Which, if you had a lot of Bitcoin, that's bad. I had USD coin mostly, so that didn't hurt me too bad. I had a little Bitcoin, but if you had Bitcoin, then Bitcoin was at 19 when that happened.
Bitcoin by what it was then?
Yeah. You're
that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And by the way, Johnny, didn't I send you the other story that dropped about Bankman-Fried? I sent you that from my social media phone.
I didn't. I've been driving a lot. Where did you send it? Okay.
Shit.
From the social media phone, and it's basically saying that that you should make a folder that's both of my phone numbers, so that if it goes to the same thing. But it's basically saying that the victims, okay, of Sam Bankman-Fried will get their full money back.
Yeah,
full money.
Yes.
Is it there though? And Sam, I don't do that because I don't want important show text to get swamped by a bunch of memes of girls' asses.
Come on.
All that means, Sam, is that they found Sammy's stash, and those guys, FTX, they're getting paid everything. You get your money back. But
no, you sent it from your regular phone actually. Let me see here.
I'm having a tough time processing what Johnny just said. I don't understand the common sense of saying, you know what? Even though Bitcoin's trading at 50 now, we got to give it to you what it was trading when we put it up your ass.
Yeah, it's total bullshit, dude.
Yeah, they're calling it the cash value because I guess they sold a lot of their assets back then, and then they bought back into Bitcoin to pay people back. So we got paid in Bitcoin and ETH, kind of almost even split, not quite.
When you say you get some in stock, explain that, because that's
the last. I think it's going to make. We got some 50-something percent, 55-ish, which has gone up. I kept mine in Bitcoin, and it's gone up to represent more than that. But then they're going to make up the last up to, I think 79% was the number, Howie, in stock in a new Bitcoin mining company, which is set to begin operations soon. I think they might already be mining.
It's not trading publicly yet.
It will not. Yeah, no, we'll get stock in the private company, and with the mine, they've already started the paperwork for. But I think we're going to get stock before they ever go public.
How quickly can you sell it?
I'm sure there are going to be restrictions on it. I'm sure
there always is. You got to hold it for 60, and then by then the fucking thing's worth pennies.
Although apparently anybody who buys in who isn't a creditor, a Celsius creditor, will not be able to sell their stock for much longer. So it will prevent pump and dumps on behalf of big wigs, people with millions. Just
because you guys as retail dudes and not commercial guys, I would suggest selling that.
It's just bad luck, dude.
The first second you can sell it.
It was just bad luck. The whole thing was just bad luck.
Yeah.
And Dana was super happy for me for getting back a lot of my money.
I was
explaining, but I was explaining to her the loss of the amount of crypto that I lost is a giant loss for somebody like me who comes from low middle class. That, I'm not a rich man. I do well, but I wouldn't say I'm rich. I'm not poor, but it's just that's a big loss.
It doesn't help to just imagine you sold it back in 2019 or I'm sorry, in 2022, something like that. That doesn't help you just be like, all
No,
No,
right.
because I would have
Yeah,
money. I would have the money if I did that.
But I'm saying you have half, and then
I don't have half, Johnny. They did not give me half.
Really?
Yeah. Of my Bitcoin? No.
You should talk to them then, because everybody was supposed to get.
No.
No, but not of the but of the value of it back then. Did you go back and do the math on that?
Yeah, if you're telling me it's $18 or $19, I guess. I don't want to get into how much it was actually given to me, but it fucking sucks. And now to get it off PayPal, I got to pay a fee every time. And so I'm going to lose more Bitcoin.
Oh, and Sam, I'm sorry. The FTX thing is exactly the same thing with Celsius. It says for FTX customers, being made whole, according to a judge's ruling, means getting the cash equivalent of what their crypto was worth in November of 2022. So they're going to have the same thing to them. But I think Bitcoin was worth a lot more in 2022. Let me see, though. I could be wrong. What was it? It was actually it was 17,000. So they're going to get less than us.
I'll fight everybody, dude.
I mean, if they could get 100% though, if they're talking about being made whole, then they would get 100% of the value back then, not 55 or whatever we got. But
yeah, 2022 could have been anywhere from 20,000 up to 30.
30? What? No, that's November though. So it's 17,000 is what they're saying, down 16%. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. It's like it opened. Yeah, it's
16,680.
Yeah, there was a day or two here where it was like 20 something, but yeah, in that range though.
I will
not
say
what it is now.
You got to look at this like, hey man, I got something back. Because that Celsius fiasco was so fucking criminal as far as paying. Guys just weren't answering. They weren't like, we're gonna write this check. We have this much. Who knows? It could have been a Dickie Hart deal where he just ran and took everything. So
probably.
Yeah. I mean, the fact
he's still tweeting. Dick Hart. He's out there.
It's not him.
You don't think so?
No. That dude is gone, and I think they'll eventually drag him in. And I think he'll probably get some time or whatever. But somebody told me there was a guy that posted the other day saying that, Zoltan was explaining it to me. He said there's no telling how much he actually owns of Hex, of just the bullshit. But I mean, look, it's down 93% from its high. Bitcoin goes up, it goes down. I mean, those people aren't getting it back. Those people that were invested for 5 years. Remember those guys said, yeah, I'm staked for 5 years. Yeah, that's gone.
Dude, I mean, the amount that I had is almost worthless now. It's crazy.
It's not coming back. But anyways, yeah, Bitcoin hit 50 grand today, and I'll tell you what.
Joy.
It's look, we talked about Paramount, and Friday I usually give a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. I put out a 10-star. A 10
stars.
Shit. 10 stars. There's not even 10 stars to give out.
Oh, I got questions like, Howie, what's the deal? Why are you saying 10? I said, I'll do this once. This is the only time I'll ever do it. It hit a certain support level. And with all the news about possible buyouts, I said, look, buy these calls, blah, blah. The calls are up. Some guys sold up 35% today. I think it closed up 30%. Everybody banked on it. I sold half. I said, sell half, keep half, because it probably will go up more tomorrow. But yeah, that's one that we just came right out of the gate 2024 and nailed it, man.
Nice.
Guys made good bank on Paramount. And Uber continue to go up, hit 71.
Oh man, I was gonna buy. You told me not to.
No, because today, at the end of the day, it dropped back below to 68 and change. So there's still going to be an opportunity, Sam. There's still going to be an opportunity. I think it's going to drop a little bit more, and you'll be able to get back in.
What do you think about calls on Uber? When do we get to that point? I would love to multiply.
My fingers on the trigger.
You let me know, bro. I'm ready to buy fat chunks.
And everybody's favorite Tesla. I get like, Howie, when we buying Tesla, it was at 193 today. Finished at 188. And I continually tell people I think it's going to drop below 180.
Crazy.
And it's a buy, baby. Tesla's a buy under 180. I like it.
They just announced moving their Elon Musk did announce moving his Neuralink operation to incorporation anyway to Nevada after he had some bitching with Delaware, which is where most of these places are incorporated. So they're moving some of there, but he wanted to go Texas, but I guess he had to, he said that without running it by, the people that actually, he has to run it by. So it looks like Nevada is the choice for Neuralink. So
that guy needs to get focused on what he knows, and just focus on that, because
what is that, Howie? What does Elon Musk really know? What do you think?
I think he's good with electric cars. Let's stick right there. That's his thing. Look, he built a great car. You can say what you want. I see a lot of them. You talk to people that own Teslas, they love them.
They're great. Yeah.
They may not run when it gets cold, but let's say you live in Phoenix or something. It's probably a great car, or Charlotte. Stick with your car, stick with what you know, because man, his stock has taken a beat down.
You want to hear something really funny, dude?
Yeah.
At one point, X was the #1 app on Apple, and it was right after Drake's dick dropped.
Yeah.
Drake's dick got more people to go to Apple and download the Twitter app just so they could see Drake's dick. How powerful is that dick? Now it's ranked 42. Now it's ranked 42.
Didn't they ask Drake if that was him, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, that was me."
I think he's like suing somebody to prove it was him.
No,
almost.
He's suing the guy called Slut Whisperer.
Slut. What is Slut Whisperer?
Corinne or something his name is. He's famous for the guy who takes pictures of the girls in nightclubs where they pour champagne on their face and it looks like you're giving them a money shot. You ever see those on the internet? That's him. He goes by Slut Whisperer. And
wait, dude. I just sorry. This goes right along with what you're saying. Slut Whisperer just posted on Instagram like 5 days ago. I did this for all of you. Now please donate to my Drake legal defense fund.
Oh man. First of all, how did he get that? How do you get that picture?
Because some chick that got sent to him, gave it to the Slut Whisperer.
It doesn't make me like Drake anymore, I have to say.
It doesn't make me hate him, but
it's got everything, this man.
Well, Johnny, you were right, dude. So that chick's like, that's a skinny dick. I get it. It's a skinny dick.
What?
So
it's not a skinny. It looks skinny because it's a foot long.
No, it's a skinny. It's a skinny dick.
No, it's not.
We should get the Slut Whisperer on the show and be like, listen, Slut Whisperer, you've been doing this a long time. Be honest with us. Was that a skinny dick or not?
Dude, it has an elbow. That's how big it is.
If you took a Coke can and just extended it out to like 5 feet, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of skinny. It's not.
I disagree.
It's the size of a.
I disagree.
Sam, I will.
It's not the size of a Coke can.
I would defer to your expertise on dick, Sam. Okay.
Thank you. I had a crippling drug and alcohol and sex addiction. Watched a lot of porn. I can tell you. I was given a gift of instantly giving size in inches and girth. There we go. Next story.
That's good stuff, man.
I am so tired. Can we jump in?
CPI comes out tomorrow. The Consumer Price Index comes out tomorrow. This is the biggest news of the week. We don't want a hot number. If we get a hot number, you'll see the market tank. That'll mean interest rates may not come down as quickly as we think they will. And they should start coming down in the spring.
So, Howie, we want to, if we wanted to refi like a car, when would be a good time to do that? Or even a house? When would be a good time to do that? It would be time. Wait now, right?
Yeah, just watch the 10-year Treasury. The 10-year Treasury, you'll watch it. When that thing starts to plummet or drop, then it's time to refi, because that's what everything follows the 10-year Treasury.
Because I'm always getting emails about the car, and it seems like they're ticking down a little. The car refinancing opportunities, but
the 10-year Treasury trading at 4.179% right now. Can go lower. But remember, it did hit 5 a few months ago, but now it's down a little bit. They're waiting for this data to come out tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be huge on this number. You might see some action.
All right. Great show.
Great
show. Sorry, guys, I can't go much longer. I'm sick. But we had a great show. Back at it. If you really want to live on the edge like a G, okay, you want to be a real G in finance, follow us over there to the Patreon where the bangers bang. Patreon.com/CashDaddy.